It had never stopped raining since the Bretonnian knight and his party had started their quest. Sir Paravaunt rode resolutely forward through the trees, his warhorse picking its way slowly and patiently down the narrow, muddy path. The rain poured down through the leaves and branches and streamed off his armour. 6 rangy hounds loped after the knight and his horse. Behind them trailed 4 miserable retainers, lugging their lord's baggage and equipment. They were soaked to the skin and covered with mud. Wet, tired and miserable, they just wanted to turn round and go home. Sir Paravaunt gazed sternly ahead through the visor of his helmet and ignored, or pretended not to hear, the moans of his servants. A strange fervour warmed his spirit and glazed his eyes. He was in love. The object of the knight's devotion was the Lady Ariane, eldest daughter of the Duke Boniface. She was tall, pale and proud, and he was a slave to her piercing green eyes. "I will be yours," she had said, as they dallied in the rose garden, "if you fetch me the horn of a unicorn. Do this small thing for me, prove your love and your courage, and I will be yours forever." That very afternoon, passion burning through his veins, he had ridden east into the wild wood on a quest to find a unicorn and steal its horn. The Forbidden Forest was a dark, fey place, and time seemed to flow strangely there. How long had they been travelling? Days, weeks, months? In a moment of weakness, Sir Paravaunt feared he might be losing his mind. After their overnight stay in the Shimmering Tower, everything seemed rather vague and muddled. Hadn't he started his quest with 7 retainers and 3 hounds? And his horse? Was it just the twilight gloom of the forest that made the stallion look black rather than grey? The constant rain eventually sapped the party's spirits. Only the hounds and the knight's horse seemed unaffected. Even the knight's 2 retainers ceased their mutterings and plodded along in surly silence. The pervasive damp made Sir Paravaunt's joints ache, and his breath was becoming wheezy. They'd nearly run out of food, and he was constantly hungry. He felt weak, and his plate armour hung loose about his body. It was impossible to tell what direction they were going in. The narrow path they were following wound on and on round the massive tree trunks. Faint, musical laughter filtered down from the branches above his head. When his horse stopped suddenly, Sir Paravaunt nearly fell off. They were standing at the edge of a bright clearing. Sunlight cascaded down from above, and in the warm light spring flowers grew and butterflies fluttered. In the middle of the clearing stood a beautiful young girl, feeding handfuls of grass to a horned white horse. With some difficulty, the knight clambered down from his horse, which refused to enter the clearing. He drew his sword and advanced towards the girl and the unicorn. "My gallant knight, do you not recognize me?" asked the girl in a lilting, playful voice. "You enjoyed my company in the Shimmering Tower. What a brave quest, and for such a noble purpose, but you are not so handsome now as you were then. Do you feel old, Sir Knight? Your face is lined and grizzled, your beard is long and grey. Your joints ache and your bones are crabbed. Why, you look like a man of 60 summers. Come, Sir Knight, take your prize, if you can." As she spoke, the girl took hold of the unicorn's neck and held its head down, offering him its horn. The knight walked feebly forward, barely able to move for the weight of his armour. As he raised his rusty sword to cut off the beast's horn, the unicorn raised its head and stared straight into the knight's eyes. The force of its ancient gaze sapped all the power from his limbs, and he toppled forward onto the grass with a crash, all the life drained from his body. How soon mortal beauty fades. "Yesterday he was so pretty," laughed the girl, petting the 10 happy hounds that gambolled about her legs. She ran lightly off into the trees, which burst into blossom as she passed.